Hi, it's me, your Void, and I'm getting older this month! So, March is my birthday month, and usually I'm like, read whatever the fuck you want during that month, but, and it's a big but, I can't be trusted with mood reads at the moment, because I feel like reading, but I don't feel like reading any book I look at, so I need someone to make the decision for me. So, we are doing this protein jar of truth again. Same rules as before. March has 4 complete weeks, so we're doing 4 pulls from this thing. Also, I had to empty it out a bit. There is only half in here of what was in here before, because the paper strip thingies weren't actually being mixed when I shook this, so I needed more air space in this thing. So now it's a bit hollow and there are less prompts in here. I did mix these and the other half very well though, so I have no idea what's in here. Prompts, ebooks, normal books, the whole shebang. So, first pull. That went under my drawers. Found it. First pull. Oh, it's a green one. It's a prompt. Exchange a pull. Okay, that is good. That is good. That is good. That means if I pull something that I don't want to read, I can just do another one, and I don't have to add it to the pile of draws. Second pull. Big boy. Oh. Now here's a problem. This is Shinigami Doctor Volume 3. I only read Volume 1. So let's just put that over here. Shinigami Doctor is this beautiful collection by Karakara Kemuri, and it is basically, I wouldn't call it a zombie apocalypse, but the premise is kind of similar to Fire Force. You have people who just randomly burst into something that they shouldn't be bursting into. In Fire Force, it's fire. In Shinigami Doctor, they turn into these weird plant monsters, and the Shinigami Doctors are a force against them. Like, they fight these monsters, but they are also called doctors because they kind of treat the people who burst into these flower monsters. It's been a while since I read the first one. I may want to reread this, but yeah, it's pretty. It's full of action, and it's actually completed in just 3 volumes. And I may want to put this on another thing I'm doing this month, which we will be talking about later. For now, my poll wants me to read Shinigami Doctor Volume 3. I haven't read Volume 2, so yeah, already 2 reads on my TBR pile, I guess. Maybe 3 if I reread number 1. So, yay. Pull number 3. Let's take this one. The Lost Siren. That is an ebook, and I have no idea what it is about. So I'm probably going to have to look this up and get back to you on that. Okay, so according to my very scientific data I have pulled up over here, this is a full-length reverse harem / poly fantasy novel with dark themes and possible triggers, it says here. And I think it's about dragons? I don't know. Book 1 of 8 of a series called Rise of the Dragons. It sounds interesting. Like some Hunger Game things, but instead of fighting for your life, you fight for bonking. Okay. Last poll number 4. Meaning I only read 3 things this month. Given that the 4th poll is a exchange a poll if you want to. Should have thought about that. Last poll! Am I going with the rules of the tarot, and when a prompt just jumps out at me, I take it? I take it. we have The Pawnbroker. Blech. The Pawnbroker by Stuart G. Yates is a cutesy little self-published horror novel, as far as I know. As far as I know. Good job in languaging. My god. A horror novel, as far as I know, where we have two different timelines that are crashing into each other, question mark? It says in the back that we have one storyline in the 19th century where we follow the pawnbroker who is, and I quote, a man of evil temper. And then in the present day we follow two teenage boys who look through like an abandoned house and then they have to face off with this mysterious pawnbroker, I guess. I don't know. This wasn't necessarily on my radar for a March read. I don't know why, but this is giving Halloween. Maybe it's the skull, maybe it's the fact that this is a horror novel. Who knows? But yeah, I guess I'm gonna read this in my birthday month. So that's a cute little TBR. And I get to exchange one of those reads if I want to. Wow. This TBR jar is really nice to me. But, and it's a big but, this is not my full TBR for March. Because I am also participating in the final book support group from Steph Loves. Because I'm really bad at continuing, let alone finishing series. So I kinda need someone, again, to tell me what to do in order to finish these books. And for that, we have a fancy little bingo board that looks a little like this. Now my TBR for the final book support group is much less tame than the TBR I just pulled. Let's go through the pod. We are going to ignore the 3 prompts that are not reading related. I mean, right now I'm fulfilling one of these prompts by just sharing my TBR with y'all. Yay me. Self-care is going to do whatever. Probably going to be me watching a Valorant match instead of reading. Whatever. Joining a sprint, kind of easy to do. I just hope they are timed in a way that I can actually utilize them. First up, we have the TBR Veteran. Now I could go and hate myself, but it's my birthday month, so I'm not going to read a Brandon Sanderson or a Terry Goodkin, because no. I may be a masochist, but I'm not stupid. I actually want to enjoy my birthday month. So because I don't hate myself, and I actually want to enjoy that week, that specific week the readathon is happening, I decided not to go with genres from very mediocre authors. So I'm going to read The Dark One by, I forgot the author's name, Nikki, which is the second book in the Dark Lost Boys, Vicious Lost Boys series, and that is a Peter Pan retelling. I don't know why I have so many Peter Pan retellings, to be honest, where Wendy Darling is kidnapped by Peter Pan because apparently in her family there is some weird Assassin's Creed shenanigans going on with generational memories, and he needs those generational memories because the Darlings remember in their genetics where Tinkerbell has hidden Peter Pan's shadow, and he needs his shadow to walk around in the daylight again. It's a bit complicated. We also have 2 brothers in there who are the brothers of Tinkerbell, and they have been cast out of the Fae Kingdom on the other side of the island. And Captain Hook is not necessarily a pirate, but also a gang lord. It's a TBR veteran for a reason. Mostly because I just never went and just picked up book 2, so it's been a while. As in a couple of years. I told you I'm bad at continuing, let alone finishing series. So yeah, that is my chosen book for prompt 1. Then we have an anticipated sequel, and this is what will break my neck. This readathon happens during a singular week of the month. It also happens in the singular week of the month where my birthday is actually located. So I thought to myself, I want to read something that I really enjoy, which would be Wrath of Empire by Brian McClellan, the second book in the second Powder Mage trilogy. But she's also 700 pages long! I could do that in a week, but this is going to be a very busy week. So I don't actually know if I can read her and everything else on this fucking planet. I am scared of this, but I also really want to read it. Then we have that one prompt that I can't necessarily finish because I am at no point in any of the series I started that would allow me to finish the series. So the final book in the series is not necessarily an option for me, but, it's a big but, if I have to read Shinigami Doctor Volume 3, and Shinigami Doctor Volume 3 is the last one in the Shinigami Doctor trilogy, that would be a final book in the series, right? Right. So, I take Shinigami Doctor 3. Which also is a beautiful segue into the next prompt, which is to read a comic, a manga, a graphic novel, or a novella. In order to read Shinigami Doctor Volume 3, I kind of need to know what happens in Shinigami Doctor Volume 2. So I guess I'm gonna read that one, and therefore continue a series, and finish a series. Bingo! Then we have a classic, the continuation station. And for the resetting. And for the continuation station, I will try my hands once again at Little Piece of Sass by Clio Evans. At this point, do I really need to talk about this book that has been haunting my every TBR for months at this point? Do I? Little Piece of Sass. Creature Cafe Volume 5. Werewolf, werecat, human, bonking. And the last prompt on this bingo board is the ever-dreaded pole pick. I hate pole picks, but everyone else seems to love them, so... If you want to be mean to me during my birthday week, in my birthday month, I mean, I can't tell you what to do and what not to do, but I have 2 different picks for this prompt that you get to choose from, probably over on my Instagram. I should probably show you the books. So, on the one hand, we have Sugared Game by K.J. Charles, which is book 2 in the Will Darling adventure series. No relation to Wendy Darling. This one is a period piece. I think it's in the 1920s. It very much looks like the 1920s. Where we follow the titular Will Darling and his darling, Kim, what's his name? And they get caught up in some high society espionage stuff. Will has inherited a bookshop from his uncle after the man died. The uncle, not Will. And one day Kim just stumbles in and then they stumble together places. The other option is Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, which is the second book in the Ramblin' Chronicles. Book 1 I read in February, and I liked it. It wasn't world-shattering, but it was exactly what it promised to be, which for some reason is a very rare breed of books these days. So I enjoyed it. And this is book 2, the continuation of the thing. So, yeah. Again, this one is deceptively thin and incredibly floppy. I mean, look at her. This is almost 500 pages. And this one is a fantasy love triangle between a princess who doesn't want to princess anymore, a prince who wants to figure out why the princess isn't princessing anymore because he was supposed to marry her, and an assassin who didn't want to kill the princess after he was sent to kill the princess, and he doesn't want to kill her because he fell in love with her, but so instead of killing her, he just kidnapped her, because that's what you do, right? Right. And there are some magical secrets going on with our not princess too, so yes. Very interested where this is going to go. I have a way with words today. Wow. But yeah, these are your 2 choices. Inform yourself or just pick one. I don't know when I will put the poll up, actually. I think I have to give myself a reminder to actually remember to make the poll in the first place. These are your 2 choices. Choose well. Once again, I want to remind you, it's my birthday week. So be nice. And suddenly, my TBR doesn't look as nice anymore. The fact that the most books on this TBR and the biggest books on this TBR are supposed to be read in a singular week? That's scary. But yeah. This is my TBR for my birthday month. I don't know if I'm supposed to like it or not. Nah, okay, bye. to dig out my other base caps because growing out an undercut is horrible to look at.